get something, isn't it? So I want to share a few ideas, a few insights. I hope maybe that will be helpful and to you. I had prepared something small on slide, but apparently we don't have one. I'll have it attached on our email, and then maybe later, because of time, you'll have the time to go through. So number one, I want to ask someone a question. Like, are you really in this career because it's your passion, or just found people doing CPAs and then you joined the bandwagon? Because I discussed with someone who was telling me, actually, I just want to finish for the fact of finishing. So you find that instead of studying for... one insight I want to share is a fact we never had time to think about, is the careers that we can partake in accounting. When I was trying to prepare this note, apparently, I don't want to claim that I'm an expert. I'm just sharing at you at a personal level because you're fellow students, just sharing insights. Maybe one idea might help you, another might not help another, but all the same, it's worth the try. So number one, I think one of the careers that we can form in accounting, be it now in the future, is about we can choose to be teachers, or we can choose to be trainers. Like I would say maybe that bench, that is the form they have taken, that is the path they have taken, isn't it? Others can choose to be consultants. Maybe you can do tax for people, you can consult on business management. That's another line maybe you can form, you can specialize in. Others, because of those who are very, very risk averse, maybe they will go to employment for that security. You need someone to work for someone, that is a job, you know. It's still another path you can take. Others like us who are maybe a bit risk takers, you might choose to be entrepreneurs and start your own. I know we have one of our alumni who is now running his own audit firm, I think for 5 years now. That's a good start. Others can choose maybe to join 2 or 3 of you, or you join someone who is in the industry and you start your own firm and you start partnering together. Others opt as an individual. You can be able to solve people's problems, isn't it? And where do we get these clients? They are our aunties, they are our uncles who have businesses. They are our friends, even in class. Like recently, you know, you find someone is a lawyer and is doing accounting and still give each other business. You can also use like the banks. For instance, I know like the path I took, you establish yourself, get to know people, maybe some business bankers at the bank, because you find that when people go to get loans there, you are asked to prepare some, you know, some financial reports. Mwingine ni mtu hawekangi biashara, akona pesa mingi sana, good turnover, and they don't keep records. Lakini si umekuwa in class, I think from section 1 you started out doing complete records, isn't it? Just ask them for their bank statement, the few records they have kept, and you're able to reconstruct something and compile a statement that can support a facility, isn't it? So I'll share 3 or 4 lines which I am in, which I think most of us, instead of being desperate, you are there chasing jobs, applying like 100 times and getting no reply. Doesn't mean you fold your knowledge and you just become desperate. You can still do something and earn actually a lot of money better than when you're employed. So allow me to read so that I become structured kidogo. Those are the careers that I've said in accounting. Another point I wanted to put across you, ask yourself, right now we are only 120 of us in this room. We are all accountants. Most of us are, we are in our finals. How many people right now are doing accounting in this country? Very many, isn't it? I think there's so many colleges, so many people will be graduating with us and chasing the very few jobs. Besides that, there are so many others who are already enrolled. I know we have CPA section 4s here. They are still chasing the very same jobs. So how do we beat this excess demand, excess supply service, the very limited demand? Some of us can choose to be entrepreneurs, and that's why we are here to show you the money. It is also a fact that we can say now that like most banks, for instance, or they're not so big corporates, they'll demand at least a first degree before you get an opportunity. Not only can establish yourself with, and especially if you're a section 6, if you're a finalist, you can be able to do even to compile annual reports for a small private company, isn't it? Because at least you've learned. Mr. Njuguna ametufunza hata juzi mpaka group accounts, hata kama exam ilikuwa ngumu kidogo. I want to believe that hata translation ukienda Tanzania, nasikia kwanza kwenda Rwanda, please you don't need a work permit, tumefunzwa translation, isn't it? So I want to believe there is much we can apply. Number one, personally I've been doing tax consultancy for small individuals and SMEs. You realize like recently KRA decided that even we as individuals, we have to be making our returns, isn't it? How many people, layman, mtu hajasoma accounting, atawezaje kujaza hiyo kitu? Amekuwa kididactua pay, yes. Amepewa that pay return, yes. But most of them becomes hard, isn't it? That's why you find a need in the market. Entrepreneurship is all about that. Seeking opportunities, being a solution provider to people's problems. And you find that, assume, even it's only one organization with 10 employees, and you tell them, I'm going to charge you 1,000 each to do your individual returns by the end of this June. How much is that? Did I just show you one area of the money? They can be even employees in your own organization. When you have just CPA, they have to do their own returns. So you are there to help them. So number one, you have to understand that as a person, never shy away to tell people what you do. Like today when you meet people, I saw people hugging and even greeting, but few people told each other what you do. Take only 30 seconds, ask your neighbor, what do you do? Because people are money, people are opportunities, people are resources. Do you really know what your neighbor does? Anyway, maybe that will come with the social hour. The other line you can also take, you can prepare management accounts for many organizations. You realize that small firms, and that is, apparently our economy is driven by these small and medium enterprises. Most of them, they cannot afford to hire a qualified accountant because they cannot afford to pay. So you can show them just how to keep proper books. You do for them outsourced bookkeeping, charge them a small fee. At the end of the month, come compile, take their invoices and their receipts and everything, compile something and prepare for them a management report that they can use for their decision making. If you are driven by adding value, not the money. Because when you add value, that's when the money comes. But when you focus on the money, definitely you will not get it. Another line you can focus on is you can, I've said about the outsourced bookkeeping, because few organizations know how to separate the files, creditors ni pale, payables ni hapa, wanachanganyanga kila kitu. Kwanza kama mwanabiashara kuna biashara mbili, utakuta anatumia check ya hii kulipa ya hii. Hapo double entry itaingia na kweli ni shida. So you are there to help them, and in the process when you're helping them, you're helping yourself, you are helping our country. When you're helping organizations to pay to make their employees compliant, that is they're able to have the statutory deductions, you're helping even the government to correct. You can help them because tumefunzwa hata kwa audits. Ni kweli. The other opportunity I think can apply is now, and especially this is where the big money is in helping them at the end of the year to compile their annual statements in preparation for the statutory audits. Because most of them, as I'm saying, they'll hire a CPA1 or a KATC. I'm not bashing anyone. And so that at least they can be able to negotiate on paying something small. But you find that a KATC hajafika pale kujua how to compile an annual report. That's where you come in as a CPA-K. What are the benefits I find in being on your own? Number one, there is a lot of freedom. You're definitely your own boss. Demand report hapo unajua. And then funny enough, our profession is very well structured. Unakuta like if there are returns, you very well know their deadlines. By 9, I should have done the NHIF and pay. By 15, I should have done the NSF. So it becomes very flexible for you to manage yourself, even if you have so many clients. You can even hire just one person. Kazi yako ni concentrate na payroll. Another one, kazi yako ni management. It becomes very easy. And growing your clientele, I found it the most easiest thing to do. Getting one is hard, but growing it is very easy because once you do a good job, once you focus on value addition, they'll always refer you to them. Because business, friends do business with their friends, isn't it? So if I have her as my client, definitely atakuwa kijua, unajoroge wa hardware pale, hata hajakuwa kiota anakurishia huyo. I think uja violate the code of ethics kulibariwa, isn't it? So the other benefit I find is there is that flexibility. Besides doing accounting, my biggest business is printing and publishing, and I still have time to serve my clients. That's what I do. That is even what I do most. Like if I do 3 days in a week in my clients, 3 days I'm doing my own stuff. So there is that flexibility. There is also the diversity, and especially in the flexibility, we still have our talents that we definitely have to grow and nurture. There is also the diversity. You're able to, like now, if you have a client who is a dentist, tomorrow you have another client who has a supermarket, tomorrow you have another client who is doing maybe a chemist. another one who is doing maybe a printing business, you find that your growth level or your learning curve, you know, it's skewed to your advantage. Unlike when you just work in one clinic for the next 3 years as a payables accountant, you can see the experience is very different. But when you're doing your own entrepreneurship, you do everything from creditors, from payables to receivables. That gives you a big exposure to grow yourself and get the big money now later, like my friend there who can be able now to establish your own audit firm. The other advantage I find is there's definitely also the life experience. You know, as you travel to new places, you get to meet new faces. For those who are searching, unakutanga hata ulipata in that company on a light note. So definitely there is also that other advantage. But the biggest of them all is the big money. You find that when you're doing your own, when you're sourcing your own clients, you determine your own pay, isn't it? You determine your own pay. It's not like a job where you're told you'll be earning a fixed income of this much. So definitely I know, because of the value you're adding, you know your thing. So what does that tell you? Don't go just to class to pass your papers. Go there to get knowledge. Knowledge that you can talk confidently and tell someone, hey, hapa kunafaa kwenda hivi. Hata kama ni director, maybe hajui CPS, ni kweli, atakusikiza. The other thing you find that you have to be someone who is driven by adding value to people's life. Even my business card reads that, growing other people's interest. In the process, you also grow. You find that there is nothing that is fulfilling like going to a company when they had a balance sheet maybe of around assets, maybe of like 10 million, and you help them because of advising them to invest correctly, and then you find that in 9 months they are growing by another 10% or 20%, they are at 15 million. See, that is fulfilling. It is definitely. When someone talks like Akienda to introduce, this is my accountant, we do this, you feel pride even in yourself. I want to give you a quote by Steve Jobs, because I think he's one of my biggest role models, someone I look up to. There is one thing that he said, that your time is indeed limited. So don't waste it. Just a moment. Yeah, here we are. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the voice of other people's opinion drown out your inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. I came across this quote when I was almost struggling with the decision I have to quit my job. Because you are earning so low, you can't even pay your own school fees. Nani ya CPA, apparently, you can't afford even to pay that. And then I remember there was that urge, that intuition that was telling you, there is a way you can still make 15,000 even if you are not employed. True or false? I'm sure if you're earning 40,000 today, you quit your job tomorrow, funny enough, and then you believe in yourself, you'll still be making the same money. Because for all that time you've been working, you've created networks. For all that time you've been working, you've created experience. And I remember the time I made that decision after planning for 6 months, I made sure by the time I'm quitting, whatever I was earning there, I'm still earning. Now my chance is to grow because I really wanted to grow. And from that 9 months, I can't complain. I've been doing well. I know most of you are wondering, how do I get clients? You know, I'm just seated here. How do I start? How do I move on? Number one, let me not cheat you. There is nothing as great as the power of the word of mouth. True or false? Very true. Never ever shy telling people what you do. Introduce yourself. Yes, I'm Simon Jeroge. I am an accountant. Yes, I do printing and publishing. You find that, and especially when you tell people what you do, they always have a need. Na by the way, nataka business card. So umepata kabiashara hapo. Na by the way, hata sijui kulikuwa. You will always find that an excuse. Always tell people what you do. Number two, also there is that other avenue, maybe like the one I've used. You can, because I'm not yet a registered accountant. I'm not yet I can say maybe I cannot even audit. But you can. I think when I discussed this with one of our teachers, he told me you can still print your card, just put your name and your qualifications, your recipe or whatever, and then maybe also put the services that you can offer there. I think that is not violating the marketing. You know what they would say. I think that can work because every time you give someone what you do, you're a BCom, a CPS, with your MBA, there is that trust they build in themselves. The other thing you find that the biggest people will give you business are your family and your friends. It's not a must you give a whole package. Maybe your uncle has a company, you just need someone to advise him on tax matters. You go there, agree, and maybe even draw a contract, and definitely you become like their consultant on only tax issues. The other thing found that, and especially recently, KRA has been offering these seminars I think every Thursday, every second Thursday of the month. And every time you go there, you find mostly they want to attract the SMEs, the people in the, you know, the people who are in the small and medium enterprises, to enlighten them on how to be tax compliant. But you find that the language and the topic and the theory inapeanwa pale, huyo mtu anatupanga amechanganyikiwa hivi times 3. True or false? Hadi anaanza kuambia hapo sijui capital expenditure, hata haelewi hiyo. Ati nikinunua furniture sifai kuiweka kama expense, hiyo hawezi elewa. Then you are there. You find that those are the people mnakaa naye hapa, unajaribu kumexplainia kidogo, atafika pale akwambie wewe sasa, wewe hiyo unasema kuja ufanye, si umepata biashara. So I think that's another place you can go to seek business. You can also establish yourself in banks and other financial institutions, like I said. It's a one-off. That is a one-off. You make good money one-off. Tengeneza compiling reports next year mtu hata 20,000. That is a one day. Ni wapi utaan 20,000 within 8 hours? Hata ukiandikwa kwa audit firm gani? Ni shida kidogo. Becomes one-off and you're able to, I think I'm sure you the money. Yeah, you're able to make your money. Finally, I have found people maybe like Mr. Nganga there, who can establish their own audit firms. I think that's another way. I don't have so much information to share on that, but I think that's another avenue people still take. But I think getting the client should not be a primary goal. Ours is once you get that client, how do I maintain that client? This is where now auditing comes in place, kabisa, or even all the topics we studied in section 6. You have to become a person of integrity. Hakuna venye utapata mtu ni wa biashara, ni Masai for instance, ana ng'ombe mingi sana, stock ya ng'ombe mingi sana, value kubwa kabisa. Na huyu ni mtu anachukua pia loan kama wewe. Ni huyu pia ni mtu, hiyo maneno ya kuweka record hiyo haiko, lakini at least is able to account his ng'ombe zake ni ngapi, nimeuza nikaweka hii nikatoa hii. And then you become someone who is not at huyu mtu ni mjinga kidogo, unataka you know, like accountants, the way many people think or assume we are. I think you have to really distinguish yourself in the market so that you're able to have an edge. Become a person of integrity. Be someone who is confidential when you get that information. Be someone who is reliable, because that's the biggest problem. You tell someone I'll be solving your problems, I'll be doing your returns, you're always past deadlines, the VAT, kila wakati, customer wako ni kuchajiwa 2.5. Be someone who seeks more knowledge every day. Like personally, VAT kitoka hivi nime-download haraka sana because I want to be updated. Tomorrow if they change the income tax, download haraka sana because you want to be updated, you want to be relevant in the market. And I think that's where we go wrong, most of us. We just want to pass. Nataka nimalizane na watu, no matter how. Si waangushe pass mark sahihi kuyo hata 10 nitokee. Nimalize tu. I think we should approach it in a different attitude. Be someone who is a professional, the way you handle yourself, the way you talk to your clients, the way you approach them even to seek business, become a professional. Be competent in what you do, and competence is built by that desire to learn and the experience that you're getting every day. And also to consult when you're not sure. Like, I'm not sure about an area, I'll always seek someone who knows better than I am and I'll ask. The other thing is seek to add value to people's lives, seek to be honest also. Also charge reasonable fees. Don't just see someone is making a turnover of 100 million and you want to claim no, 10% must be done. It doesn't have to be that way. Be someone who charges definitely by the service you're giving, the value you're adding. I think that's to the extent you should seek, rather than just judging by whatever they are earning. The other thing, always be informed, as I said. Always seek to know what KRA wakikuja na new system of doing things like the iTax. I heard like the other day they say they might be recruiting, or they might be even seeking like people like us to help taxpayers to be compliant using the iTax. Am I right? I heard something like that on the papers. So that so that they avoid the many errors that people are putting in there, the many problems that people are going in through there. Ndio maana mpaka saa hizi hiyo iTax haijaweza kuwa perform vizuri kabisa. I heard there is such an opportunity of giving the jobs to agents. Lastly, I want to leave you with 2 quotes so that I end my talk. I hope I have helped someone. Money never follows a vacuum. If you have a pen, you can write this down, or still you'll get it on your email. Money never follows a vacuum. It follows dreams. It follows visions. It follows ideas, viable ones for that matter. You should think big if you want to achieve big. Dare to trend where there is no path and leave a trail. Whatever I'm speaking to is not something that is so common, and thinking of how you can be able to look at a path that is different from the mainstream. but I know it is doable, it is workable. And finally, the money lies where your knowledge, your skills and qualifications choose, underline, to meet the right opportunities. Because there are opportunities, there are needs. Trust me and give me a holler once you get your first client. From tomorrow, talk to the many people you shall meet. Tell them you're an accountant, yes, I can do tax. Pahali hutajua nipigie nikusaidie, tusaidiane, and you win that client. And utaona there is a need in the market. How does that need arise? You show people their problems, isn't it? Then they ask you to be their solution. Ama si ukweli? Because if you find your uncle is not keeping proper books, you're just there quiet, and a business lies there, so you tell him, enyewe hapa na hapa, if you can do this and this, most definitely they'll give you that business. And finally, the money lies also in your desire and resolve to solve other people's problems, to create meaningful relationships every day and every chance that you get. The last question. What is the choice that you intend to take now that you had this chance to share with us such ideas and insights, and also to finish your CPA? Answer yourself. God bless you. Thank you.
Of course, that was a very powerful introduction. And Jane, it was unfortunate that that happened. But of course, it was very well handled by Mr. Njuguna. Okay? And we had to change things very fast. Sawa sawa? Okay, so thank you, Jane. And even for the opportunity to come and share with you. I'm sure when you see me here, you know what I've come to do. You call me pastor. Okay? So I'll pastor you for 5 minutes, and then I'll be seated. Sawa sawa. Okay, and I've been asked to talk on something about balance, or living a balanced what? Living a balanced life. And I will try and manage my time very well, because I've been told I should take less than 10 minutes. So I'll appoint one of you, the one that is facing me here, Makori. So Makori, when it's 10 minutes, you know the problem with us preachers, we can go on and go on and go on and finish 7 times. So I'll try to take as minimum time as possible. By the way, all you people are looking very lovely. You are not looking like this a week to exams. Very true, very true, very true. Now I look at you, you all have smiles all over, and you're looking very handsome and beautiful. Now, I read somewhere they said that balance is the key to life. And I want to add one more and say that you can be able to live magnificently in this world if you can be able to work. Of course, you're being taught about show me the money. If you can be able to do what? To work, but at the same time, if you can be able to love those for whom you do what? You work for. Now that is balance. That I'm not only working, but I'm also having time to love and to be with those for whom I do what? I work for. That's a lovely statement. And I thought some of you here, I know, you love soccer, football. And in any team, okay, I'm not a fan so much of football, but I know 1 or 2 things. At least when they score a goal, I know they've scored a goal. They say that you must balance between offensive and what? Defensive. You can't just be on one side. You can't just be on one what? On one extreme. Otherwise, you need goals in as much as you need to do what? To defend. Okay? If you are an athlete, you must be able to balance between what? Between strength and speed. So that if you're doing a marathon, you don't start off the first 100 meters too fast, so that you don't have the energy to do what? To finish. That again is balance. We've just enjoyed the wonderful meal here. Why they call it a balanced what? A balanced diet is because I saw some nyama, proteins, I saw some ugali. I also saw some greens on the side. Otherwise, it could have not been a complete meal if it was not what? If it was not balanced. Those people there teach, and they will tell you that every lesson has to be balanced. Creativity and what? And information. So that you don't concentrate so much on content, because if you do that, the lesson will be so boring. Okay, you could be saying the right things and all that, but you should take a break from content and at least do one off the cuff something. Sindio? Also, when you concentrate too much, okay, on the creativity part, then when it comes to exam time, students have nothing to write because all the time you are story, story, story. So a balance needs to be done what? Needs to be done. Now, having said that, how do we achieve this balance? Now, I'm in my 5th minute, so in the next 5, I'll be finished now. I have 5? Okay. I have 4. Okay. Now, God has not left us like that. Of course, God in his wisdom has given us a few guidelines that we can use to make sure that we live a very balanced life. And in Matthew 28, scriptures say that seek ye what? First. Seek ye first the kingdom of what? Of God, and all other things shall come in as what? As additions. I want to give a very interesting story of David. David is one guy I look in the Bible and I see he's a very balanced guy. Okay, he's one of the successful kings that we know of. Now, kingly dimension talks of his professional wing, like most of us are what? Are professional. And that he was able to do with a lot of excellence, leading the nation of Israel. Now, I see an interesting story in the book of Samuel, that at one time David comes back home and finds that the wives of the guys around had been taken. There was a raid that was done. Properties taken, cattle taken, everything was taken. But David did one very interesting thing. I know rationally some of you men, what you do when you come home and you're informed that your wife has just been taken. I mean, you don't even think. The most logical thing to do is to chase after. Okay, my kid has gone. What I can do sensibly is to chase after. But David did one very interesting thing. He says, and he went to seek of God what to do. Okay? David was a master inquirer. And he asked God, God, should I pursue? And if I pursue, will I do what? Will I recover? And it is upon God's instruction that David now commits, okay, and engages on the journey to go and recover. Now, it's interesting to note that they went and reached a place that is called Brook Besor. And there are some guys who are genuinely tired. They couldn't chase anymore. And so they were left there, but there is a team who was still stronger, and they chased after, and by God's grace, they were able to recover all. Now, when they recovered, some of those guys who had gone the entire way said, because we've gone all the way, and these guys were only able to go up to Brook Besor, what we do, we just give them back wives and what? Children. We won't give them the what? The properties. And David said, let not such an evil ever be heard where? In Israel. Because he knew, even my victory is not me. My victory is who has brought it about? God. And he acknowledged that it is God that gave us this victory. And everyone was given back what belonged to him. So number one, again, I emphasize, whatever we do, we put God first. Number two thing I will emphasize on in my remaining 2 minutes is family. Family is very important. I've just read an interesting article. Research was conducted on a group of employees. These employees were known to have been very loyal. Some of them stayed one employer longer than 15 years. And so they were asked, why is it that you've been so long with this one employer? And that guy, this is the response. Just read a few minutes ago. They said that our employer has taught us to love and prioritize family. So if your kid is unwell, don't come to work. Take care of your kid first. Okay? If there's an issue at home, that should be your number one priority, your family. And this guy said that even if now our employer calls us to meet a particular deadline, we are able to work even over time. Longer. Why? Because he first has allowed us to be with what? With our family. And I'm sure for most of us, okay, maybe some of us, we don't have families, but I'm sure that's where we are headed. Many times there'll be a conflict between probably work and what? Family. Now it will be a very delicate decision to make. But my advice is that let family always take what? Priority, number one. There's a qualification even in the Bible that for you to serve, Paul said that you must be seen to be somebody who has a very stable what? Family. So before work, family comes what? First. Again, my starting statement, know how to work, but also know how to love those for whom you do what? You work for. Number 3 point is that work. Work, that's balance. So don't just say, I will be here with my family throughout and no work. No, you need some bread to bring bread on the table. So work is important. And the key to productivity, we've said here, show me the money. The key to productivity is what? Work. So also, work. And now I want to combine my last points, pamoja zote, ndio nimalize nikae chini. Okay? In living a balanced lifestyle also, take time to exercise. Take time to go where? To the gym. Do some workouts even if it's in the house. Do some push-ups, okay? We don't want you to work very hard again at the expense of again your what? Your health. Eat well. Okay, the books all over that will tell you on how to eat a balanced meal and all that. Now, exercise, live a healthy life. Again, take time to do what? To rest. Now, once in a while, just say, I want time with myself. Go relax somewhere. Put your feet up. Sleep if possible, and don't apologize to anyone for that, because rest is also very what? Very important. God himself worked for 6 days, but took a day off to do what? To rest. So work, do everything, but also remember to do what? And lastly, give back to the society. That as you work, know that it is not only for what? For you. And that's why every semester we endeavor to just have some time to go and be with those kids who are probably not very what? Fortunate. What we do is that we are giving back to what? To the society. Even as you go there, work, you professionals and all that, once in a while, just take time. I like one of our directors who is here. Okay, once I met with him, his car packed with some stuff. Say, where are you going? I thought he's going shag. Say, no, I'm just going to visit a children's home somewhere where I normally do what? Visit. And I found that very interesting. That's living a balanced what? A balanced life. That this society has also given too much to us. The world has given too much to us. Let us also give something where? In return, back to the society. I think I've used my 10 minutes well. Okay. I deserve a clap. My name is Muigai Job. When I'm in class, I tell you that I'm a pastor full-time and a teacher part-time, okay? So that's what I do. I'm Job Muigai, and God bless you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to be with you today. I give back the mic to Jane. Asante.
I'll check that paper again. But of course, I believe you did the best. The beauty of it, FR is part of your coursework. So, and of course, Mr. Jigona, we can go through that paper with you. We'll look at it, see whether it is FR or taxation. But anyway, I don't know, I've been told to say hi. Maybe I'll do exactly that. My name's Mwangi. Those who don't know me well, the others are Michael, and the other one is Gundo. Very difficult. Now, I don't know, this occasion, by the way, I found it to be one of the most interesting. At least seeing my students here seated and interacting together is one joyful thing. So let me not talk much. We will talk.
They have something they are talking on. So they will talk later. Mr. Kimani, please.
Mr. Kimani, Jack or Jackson. I'm happy to have been invited another time. Last time we were together, not many of the lecturers accompanied us, and students were also very few, but this time I'm very happy. In fact, I was telling one of the organizers that this round, I think we have hit it, and I was happy to see everybody here. If you are given FR and not taxation, I believe it's a fair paper, because in the case you are to do FR and taxation in the same level. Is it true? So again, back to Mr. Moigai, balancing. So you balance, eh? You imagine you're doing FR, though you are talking in taxation language, taxing this one, though it's FR, eh? But anyway, be positive. Things, you have done your part. I told you, don't mark your papers. Just do your work. Let those who are going to mark, and they're going to mark fairly. Sasawa? Do not fear of something that you have never seen in the papers. Don't fear. If it has come the first time, you are lucky than those who will be tested the second time. I hope you know what I mean. I've been saying that. The first time is tested, you are lucky. But the second time, you're not lucky. Sasawa? So just be positive, things will be okay, and you can party all night. Sasawa? Yeah, thank you very much.
Mambo vipi? Mimi nakuaga tu mlight tu hivyo. Sinanga uzungu mingi. Hapa ni Afrika. Hata hivyo, I'm very thankful to be with you people. I think I realized that my family is so much extended. I have brothers and sisters around, and I'm so happy for that. So I think you've started something great. That element of coming together, I think to some extent it demonstrates more that you're not just friends when you're in school and when you're helping each other to tackle your exams, to tackle your classwork and all that. But you can have something beyond your class work. And I think I'm inspired by that. So whoever came up with the idea that you should be meeting or having this networking kind of a forum, I think I would only encourage you to just keep on having it every now and then, and I think you will grow big. Mutually, we live in a small society, but when we come together, we can manage a lot. More than that, I think one of my core businesses of being here, I feel it has been met. Wajoni gani hiyo? Manze cheki tu. So nimekula, nimeshiba, nishafurahia hiyo. Maandalizi yenu mamkuli poa. Asanteni sana. Nafikiri tutaongea baadaye. Thank you.
Hizi vitu sijazoea bana. So I don't know who came up with the name Show Me the Money, because that particular saying is not complete. So who knows how it's supposed to be completed? Show me the money. Yeah, it's a Spanish saying or proverb. It goes like, show me the money. Bwana nani aliintroduce? Inasema, show me the money, don't give me stories. Show me the money, don't give me stories. So I don't want to give you stories. Someone was telling me to... Okay, there is another one which also cancels that one. I'll tell you after the key speaker. I'm supposed to be talking about, I can see my name somewhere here, strength in numbers, yeah? So we are going to talk about strength in numbers. Perhaps we talk about reunion. Who knows what is reunion? We talk about AFC maybe, Gor Mahia maybe, their numbers in destruction, as well as we talk about the numbers perhaps in Egypt revolution, numbers perhaps in companies like, or maybe association like Gema, or maybe numbers, how numbers have evolved this particular country. Sir. And that number is now what we want. So whenever you see us maybe in this particular moment, the number that we have here, still we are not enough. Because we need a big number to revolve, or can I say devolve? I don't know, but we need to change ourselves, and we need that particular number. So we need a number not to be like the Gor Mahia yenye wameshindwa, but the number which is going now to be formal number that will help us maybe to move to another level. So I'm going to come back here, and because she was asking for a joke, I'll come with a joke. I don't know what type of a joke, lame one or ile muzuri ama ile mbaya zaidi. So nitakuja baadaye. Thank you so much for this moment.
You have really made good use of the time. We appreciate so very much. And one thing we are saying is that all the things that we need to hear from you, it's not just one forum, one meeting. So we hope that we'll be able to continue having this forum. I would like to take this chance to invite our guests today. We have Mr. John Nganga Mwangi, who is chairman of the alumni, who is also CEO of his own accounting practice. Nganga Mwangi and us over there. Please, somebody help me over here. Okay, I'm being told opportunities galore. Okay, so please, Mr. John Nganga Mwangi, let's welcome him with a hand clap.
Good morning. Oh, sio asubuhi. Poleni. Now, I would love one day to be a CEO, but at the moment I'm the managing partner of Nganga Mwangi and Company. Where? I know the next time you'll write a short form of Mwangi and us, so shit. It is and Company, so that you don't call it that. Okay, I'm delighted to be here. I think my registration number is 0 something, if not 01, at Pinnacle. And what delights me more is to see my mono. Copy? Simon Peter. And surprisingly, we are doing the same thing. Thanks so much. We'll do much. You can consult me anytime you've got a challenge. And the step that you've taken is, wow. When you're doing an in-depth in taxation, feel free. I'll show you where the money is. So thank you so much. Unaweza karibisha wengine. Tutaongea zaidi, eh?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome with me Mr. Vincent Ombati.
Up until today, I didn't realize that my name is a tongue twister. Until he made it one. My name's Ombati Vincent. I don't know whether to call myself a student of Pinnacle or not. I have my reasons. Can I set them? The three gentlemen there, Kidinji, Gikonyo, and Njuguna, taught me CPA. And that time they had a balanced life. This thing was not there. We used to play a lot of football with them. By the way, they are very good footballers. I don't know whether you know that. Do you know that? Yes. Yeah, they do that. I don't know what to say about Mr. Njuguna. He plays football, but outside the pitch. Now, again, I'm very happy. This is one of those moments that I'm also very happy to finally meet my college mate. I think he was a class ahead of me. I'm not so sure whether class or we were in the same class. And he lives a balanced life. He's a pastor full-time and a lecturer part-time. Wow. I'm supposed to talk about opportunities galore. Before I talk about this, let me talk about me. I've said that they taught me. They modeled me to be what I am. There's something that comes out very strongly about these gentlemen here. Maybe you can't see it, but me, I'll tell you. When these three gentlemen were teaching somewhere else, they dedicated their time and energies to whatever they were doing. I can say they balanced their life there. Religiously so that when they moved out to go somewhere else, you didn't need anybody to invite you there. You just had to go follow them because you knew their productivity. True or false? Because they made that wise decision to move to the next level, they created employment. That is why some people here are calling themselves lecturers, and you, your students, and we have other subordinate staffs who are not here. Don't we call that the money that you guys are looking for? Ama mnatafuta pesa ingine? You understand? My name is Ombati. I've worked for several companies. I've worked in the manufacturing industry. I've worked in the real estate industry. I've worked in so many areas. I worked until May 2010 when I pulled out to set up my own platforms. I have a number of companies that I run. I have a real estate company. I have a consultants company. And there's a new baby that is not even a month old, a security company. You will wonder why a finance manager will pull out of employment to leave money that he's sure of, to go chase money that he doesn't know where it's going to come from. It is one very hard decision for one to make. It's just like leaving employment where you're earning a salary to no job. But I'll always ask one question. Between employment and home, which is more of a comfort zone than the other? You guys are lying. We all want to say home because that is the truth. But then when you are being told you're going home, you worry. Why worry then when you're going home where is the comfort zone?